Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into the Pet Expo YouTube channel. This is Barry, and we got some awesome reptiles in today. First ones you're looking at are Russian tortoise, probably the best tortoise pet that you can get. These guys stay quite small, males reaching top side of 6 to 8, and then females about 8. Little over 10 will be a very large female for this animal. Average lifespan being about 60 years. So you can get them to go much longer than that with the proper environment and care for these guys. What we recommend is mixed dry vegetables. Try to stay away from fruit since these guys are more desert. If you have the availability of prickly pear cactus, really wonderful thing for these guys to eat. Also with our tortoises, we do recommend at least one hide for them to go and find a shelter. Otherwise, if it is a large enough environment and they can burrow, these guys do love to burrow also. Our next ones that we're going to show you are going to be our Herman's tortoise. Now these guys came in quite small, as you can see. Give you a kind of hand to tortoise size. These are pretty close to your Russian tortoises for size and care. With these guys, you will get a little bit smaller tortoise. And of course, with their size right now, they are going to be with you a lot longer. Now also with our Herman's tortoise, since they are smaller, you do want to soak these guys, just like any other tortoise, anywhere from 2 to 3 times per week, just to make sure that you get rid of those urates. You see how cute these guys are when they're small. We're going to move on next to our leopard geckos. So we got a large amount. We just kind of put him in here for the shifting cage and to take the video here. But you can see all our leopard geckos. These guys are great first lizards pets because you can keep them in a smaller environment, and it's a low cost environment, so you're not looking at a UVB light with these guys. They're nocturnal, so you can just provide them with a nocturnal lamp and or heat pad with a thermostat on it, and a 10-gallon tank, and 2 hides, 1 dry and 1 moist for shedding on the moist hide. And these guys can also live quite long, upwards of 10 years plus on average. They get about 8 to 9 inches long, and they are insectivores, so eating things such as crickets, roaches, waxworms, mealworms, and superworms when they're much larger, as long as you pinch those heads on that superworm, because they can be dangerous, and those guys have some pretty strong mandibles. Next ones that we're going to move to is going to be a little bit harder to take a video of, so we'll try to move quick. But these are our New Caledonian crested geckos. Now these are flame cresties, so they're going to have more of that pattern on their back. They're kind of cooled down right now, or not flamed up, so you're not seeing a lot of the pattern right now. These guys best with a 10-gallon inverted on the tall end, because they do like to climb. Make sure to have a lot of foliage in there, just so they can actually cling to something, because their tail can fall off if it gets muscle atomy. So if they're not using that tail can actually fall off. Now these guys also don't have eyelids whatsoever, so they lick their eyes. Make sure to keep a lower light in their environment so not to burn their eyes out. And they do have prepared food, so literally just mix with water or baby food and give that to that animal on a daily basis. You always want to flush that stuff out, and then give them a mild amount of crickets when they're small like this for growth period, just so they get that extra protein. Now our next ones are going to be our legless friends. We're going to get this guy back in there, hopefully. Perfect. And we're going to move to our ball pythons. Everybody's favorite snake. These guys are brand new hatchlings, so they are quite small. You can see the different colors. There's nothing really called a normal ball python anymore. They all have some kind of color morph now with all the captive bred fun colors. But these guys are great first snakes because they're going to get about 5 to 6 foot long depending on a male or female. So a 40-gallon tank is all these guys need. And why they're great first snake pets is because with most snakes, you're only feeding once per week to maintain that animal. So it's a good first time pet for younger kids, because these guys are less likely to strike, hence their name ball python. When they are scared, they usually will draw their head back and kind of ball up. These guys are obviously feeling quite comfortable, and my hand is quite warm today, obviously, too. But also with our ball pythons, these guys are one of the cool snakes, because if you look right in their face, you can see those heat sensitive pits, and those heat sensitive pits help track their warm-blooded food items. So if you are going to feed these guys frozen, make sure to get that animal up to 100 to 102 degrees using hot water bath, so these guys can pick that up on those sensors and make it easier for them to strike. Now also with our ball pythons, try to provide them with at least one humid hide, so when these guys are shedding, they can go in there and shed in one complete piece. So our next one and last one is going to be one of our milk snakes. I'm going to give you a good view of our ball pythons here while I get this guy out. Now what we got here is not like our Pueblans that we got last time. We're going to back out this. As you can see, pythons are good because they don't move a lot. Milk snakes, corn snakes, and king snakes do tend to move a lot more, but you get a lot better color. He's very interested in the camera right now, but this is a Honduran milk snake, so this is going to be a little bit larger than your Pueblan, so reaching 4 to 5 feet at full grown. Sorry for the focus, guys. He is coming right out there. So to start out, you could do a 20 long, but I'd probably recommend a 40 breeder at minimum when they are full grown. And these guys are great pets because they have that beautiful color for one, but for two, milk snakes aren't aggressive, or as aggressive I should say, as king snakes, so really unlikely to get bit on with these animals. If you have any further questions at all, give us a call at 507-625-2505. This is Barry from the Pet Expo YouTube channel in Mankato, Minnesota.